Well, when we left, it was about 18 degrees. It's about 65 here in Anaheim. Super stoked to be here at NAMM and finally get a chance to check out all this year's new gear. Man, it's just awesome down here. Love the weather. Nice change of pace. Let's get inside. After a quick stop over at the John Lennon Educational Tour Bus to check out the amazingly well-equipped mobile studio that they have here, and just an incredible organization, it was time to head over to the ACC North building and check out all the latest in studio production gear. In years past, all these guys were actually on the main showroom floor, which made it an absolute madhouse, but now they have all this space once the ACC North building was completed to house all the studio production gear in one place. The first stop was New Studio's completely mind-blowing, fully configurable mobile mix environment. The fully immersive mix room is the first modular portable studio system designed for completely custom audio-visual production. So it's got a chassis that includes the room itself, and it includes a practically unlimited amount of mounting options for both hardware and soundproofing materials. The fully modular booth comes with a porous theater membrane that's stretched across the hardware framing, combined with high-resolution LCD projectors to create, honestly, the most amazing mix environment I have seen to date. Then we headed over to Empirical Labs to check out their 30th anniversary edition of the distressor. This is the limited release red-faced version of the regular EL8 that adds a vintage-style Triad Magnetics HS56 input transformer. For faster saturation, it's got greater color, lower input impedance. Man, it just looks and sounds amazing. Love the new features. All the other features that exist on a standard distressor are there as well. And of course, we had to check out the Alpha compressor from Elysia. This is just an amazing machine. 100% discrete Class A, no integrated circuits, built-in mid-side matrix, fast-forward feedback, sidechain filter, parallel compression, signal matrix, soft clip limiter. This just screams luxury and an eye-watering price to match. Next was Audioscape, and we are big fans of theirs here at the studio. They were showing off their limited edition pink EQP-A as well as their Shadow Black AS2A optical compressor. Looked amazing with amazing build quality to match. And their limited edition 76D Rev D Evergreen Edition. It was impressive, as well as the E-Series Deluxe bus compressor, all of which would look completely awesome here in the studio racks.
It's ready. It's ready for a playback. I bring in Hans. He sits in the chair, he listens to about 6 notes, hits stop, turns to me and goes, "Darling, you're mixing the wrong movie."
Next up, we're on to the radio booth. They always have the most amazing and clever solutions, but this year's release are the new SGI stereo line drivers for pedal boards, offering 300 feet of signal transmission via Ethernet. These can be powered with standard pedal board power and have new brackets to allow mounting to pedal boards even easier. Over at the Burl audio booth, they were showing off their big surprise, literally a solid-state optical compressor with limiter called Bigfoot. And it really was an all-discrete transistor Class A coupled output, fully balanced circuit path end-to-end, sidechain, de-esser, and so much more. This thing was a monster of a compressor. Over at the Cranborne booth, they were showing off their brand new 4-channel Dynamics processor, the Blackmagic MC4. This was one of the most innovative processors I saw at the show, as the 4 channels can be configured as 2 stereo units, 4 mono units, or 2 mid-side units, as well as dual band mode for multiband and built-in de-essing with analog look-ahead. All of this with real-time software control and recall. One of the releases I was most excited about was over at the Chandler Limited booth. They were debuting their brand new Red mixing system. I mean, talk about stepping back into Abbey Road. The mixer is completely modular, and for the first time in over 50 years combines the Red, TG, and RS systems together in one system that can be built in any configuration. You can start with a small setup and expand over time. Literally, history and a reliable modern-day console. And if you have the cash, what an absolute match made in heaven to pair the console with Chandler's EMI Red large diaphragm tube microphone and the Chandler Limited EMI Red 47 Special Edition preamp. Not to be outdone, over at the SSL booth, the new Origin EVO console was on display and available in both 16 and 32 channel versions. The classic inline architecture, the versatile preamps, the E-Series EQ, combined with user-based requests like the E-Series channel dynamics, updated high-pass filter, low-pass filter, and a frame that allows you to incorporate your own studio gear much easier, made this a must-see at this year's show. And over at the Wolf Audio booth, they were showing off their very popular console and expansion bass, as well as the new 4-channel Sunset Sound preamp, the Quad Tutty, and a one-space rack mount microphone and instrument preamp based on the original Sunset Sound Studio One console circuit, as well as the new W1, a 500 series console grade mic preamp from Wolf Audio's flagship recording consoles. Next, it was off to the Harrison booth to check out their new MixStrip channel strip. This was inspired from the original classic consoles and features a premium Jensen JT MB CPCA transformer coupled microphone preamp, along with high-pass and low-pass filters and a 4-band parametric, as well as an integrated mix bus. They were also showing off their new 510 500 series system. This is a super flexible and powerful system consisting of a high-powered 10-slot D510R rack and optional summing mixer, and the D510 Dante interface and the D510 USB audio and ADAT interfaces. This is truly a killer setup for Harrison's already popular 500 series modules. Next up was the Roswell booth, where they were showing off their brand new Aztec microphone. This was inspired by the vintage Elam 251, boasting 9 selectable polar patterns, as well as their brand new cab mic, specifically for guitar cab applications. They also had their Mini K-Series microphone custom shop on display, which was so cool. It allows you to pick your own housing color, windscreen design, and capsule from any of their very popular Mini K-Series microphones. And really, I thought this was such a clever idea. I mean, finally the same kind of guitar sort of customization, but with your favorite microphone design. The Shure booth was really cool this year, with lots of focus on collaboration and recording, as well as social media. We're big Shure fans here at the studio, and they were launching their new SLX-D Plus wireless system, as well as some new KSM microphones. The Cardioid 32C, the large diaphragm Cardioid 40C, and the 44 MP multi-pattern large diaphragm condenser microphone. It was definitely all about content creation this year, and they had a lot of their content creation tools on display here at the booth, as this year's show included a lot of influencers and content creators, as well as musicians and music industry professionals. Over at the Slate Digital booth, it was slamming this year as they were showing off their brand new ML1A and ML2A modeling microphone systems. These are powered by their award-winning VMS, or virtual microphone system plug-in. These come with 38 model vintage and modern high-end microphones to choose from. While the ML1 is great for vocals and acoustic instruments, the ML2A is the perfect companion for instrument applications. The Virtue Mastering platform was on display, which is now no longer online only, but available on your desktop, as well as the SSL Auto Series AI-assisted plugins based on the SSL 4000 series consoles, and the classic Slate Digital virtual mix rack, now available as individual plugins. Over at the Neumann booth, they were displaying the brand new M50V. This is a reissue of the venerable M50, heard on so many famous orchestral recordings. This was literally the sound of John Williams' Star Wars recordings. This was designed in Berlin and built by hand as a nearly part-for-part recreation of the original, with a small diaphragm tube condenser pressure gradient capsule. The M50 was instrumental in creating the Deca-tree technique, and it really is a part of history, and it has the price tag to match. Over at the Sound Toys booth, they were teasing about the upcoming release of Space Blender 2. This is supposedly adding new styles, as well as the ability to control shape, color, and texture on the XY pad. And the added control is supposed to be just as quick and spontaneous as version 1, with more flexibility. Another huge industry shakeup was the acquisition of PreSonus by the Fender Corporation. They've rebranded Studio One as Fender Studio Pro and taken some earlier PreSonus products like the Studio Live series of mixers and brought them over, as well as adding new products to the line like the motion pad controllers and the HD audio interfaces, as well as adding the new native Mustang amp modeling software. Over at the Waves booth, they were spreading the word about the new LV1 control unit. This is a dedicated fader expansion for the LV1 Classic console, and it has 17 console-grade 100mm motorized faders with scribble strips and LED metering. The body of the two units gives a total of 34 faders and 34 control encoders when combined. And locked in a glass box, they were showing the Waves SoundGrid bridge that converts Dante into SoundGrid protocol, supposedly due out Q2. And even Blackmagic Design was there showing off some cameras and stuff, but the thing that really caught my eye was their integrated Fairlight audio editing system. This I saw at the NAMM Show a few years earlier, and it is becoming a full-fledged DAW on its own, complete with audio post-production. This is a powerful system to keep an eye on. Barefoot Speakers returned to the NAMM and brought with them the new Gen 2 speaker systems from their popular Footprint line. The new Footprint Gen 2 models feature all new drivers, updated cabinets and amplifiers, and their cutting-edge SPOC technology that delivers higher output and lower distortion and accuracy. And honestly, they sounded absolutely amazing. Focused, clear, spot on. IK Multimedia was showing off their brand new iLoud sub speaker and audio enhancement system. And what makes the sub unique is that it has the built-in room correction software from their ARC system built into the sub itself, and comes with a calibration microphone. This will automatically calibrate your room and whatever speakers you have plugged into the iLoud sub, and even determine the correct crossover point for the sub and speakers. This is pretty groundbreaking stuff, especially for those mixing in less than ideal circumstances in smaller rooms. This is a clever solution to room correction and includes their already popular ARC software and microphone. Next, we were off to the Warm Audio booth, and we're big fans of Warm Audio here at the studio, as many of you know. They had some great displays and racks showcasing the gear we've all gotten to know and love over the years, as well as an impressive display of all their microphones, including the 251 that we use here in the studio daily. But the big talk of the booth this year was their debut of the new Retro 64 dynamic handheld microphone. This is designed around a purpose-built upper mid-forward capsule that rolls off highs to minimize squeal and feedback and also enhances vocal clarity. And I gotta say, this thing was built like an absolute tank. It's available in both matte black and chrome finish. It looks completely awesome, and it feels like $1 million to hold in your hand. It's got some real chunk and heft to it. Next, it was on to the Zoom booth, where it was all about creators this year. They were debuting the L12 Next 12-channel digital mixer and recorder with 8 upgraded low-noise preamps, 60mm faders, and it can record 14 individual tracks at an impressive 24-bit 96K. As well as the L6 Max, that's a 12-channel digital mixer recorder that can record the same 14 tracks to an SD card at 32-bit float. They also debuted the PodTrack P4 Next 4-track podcast recorder. This could take 4 XLR inputs with an impressive 70 dB of gain, and 4 headphone outputs with volume control, and its little brother, the dual USB recorder, the P2. Meanwhile, over here at the Yamaha booth, these guys just kept dropping bomb after bomb in the digital mixer and MIDI controller department, as their little MGX series of mixers has an awful lot of their flagship digital mixer features stuffed into this tiny little frame.
So yeah, this is our brand new MGX series mixers. This is the MGX 16. There's one of 2 main models in the line. There's also video versions as well. The difference with the video version is that there is HDMI I/O. You have 8 mic pre's on this model, the 16, and then you have the other 1/4-inch inputs, and then also RCA. And then you also have 8 Omni outs in addition to your main stereo out, and also 4 headphone outs as well. And on the back, you have 2 USB-C ports. One is a main USB port, and then you have a sub port as well. The main you can multi-track in and out of, and then on the sub, it's 2-track in and out. Also on the back is a micro SD card slot for onboard multi-track recording. So this can be used as a standalone recorder, along with being a digital mixer and also an audio interface.
Another big surprise was the debut of the USB Studio controller, the CC1. This is a brand new multi-purpose USB controller for a huge variety of audio and video post-production software and applications. It's got 12 fully programmable LCD keys. So this allows for visual and functional customization. It's like having an Elgato Stream Deck on steroids built into your DAW controller. A big time saver feature is the AI knob. This allows you to automatically adjust any parameter that your cursor is hovering over. 100mm fader, buttons, and encoder knobs are pre-mapped to the most common industry software options like Steinberg's Cubase. This thing just screams quality, and thank God it's built like a tank. The backlit design works great in low light environments, and the dual USB-C ports on the back means you can power it separately from the connection. And the foot switch jack means that you can re-enter a variety of information after the track's already been laid down.
To the bridge.